Hello everybody and welcome to second series of Skills for All webinar in this season. I'm happy to announce that today we will talk about the global presence, and it will be about the recruitment and retention of new members, recruitment and retention of players. So today how the discussions will go, same as the last time. We have 1 o'clock CET time and 5 o'clock CET. And for the beginning, there is a little bit of housekeeping. After that, we'll be talking about the main topic of today, which will be the recruitment and retention. After that, we'll move to the IHF initiative related to the topic. And after that, we have the workshop and discussion for everybody joining us via Zoom. So today, the first topic or first person talking will be Azam. And Azam is head of the recruitment and learn to play instructor in Iran Ski and Winter Sports Federation. They will show us example of how they build their community around ice hockey, because they started building the community before actual ice rink opened. And now they have about 115 kids under the age of 10. So we had a pre-recording with Azam before, and after the recording is done, Azam joined us live, and she will answer a few questions that you can put in the chat. So you can put the questions in the chat here on the Zoom call or on YouTube. And again, everything is recorded, what is happening here, and then it will be available on the IHF webpage later on.
Hi everyone, my name is Azam Sanai. I'm the captain of Iran's national women's ice hockey team. I want to talk about the history of Iran's hockey, how we started ice hockey, and what we are doing for hockey right now. Iran's hockey first started its work back in 1996. At first, it was only inline hockey because we didn't have any ice rink. And then our first ice hockey team was formed back in 2020 when our first ice rink started its work. At the beginning, in 1996, there were just a few players who played inline hockey, and gradually their number increased. From 2006, our inline hockey league started its work. At first, there were just 5 teams, but now there are 8 active teams in inline hockey in Iran, in both division, men's and women's. We have been playing inline hockey for so many years. Since there was no ice rink in Iran, and playing on ice was a dream for all of us. 5 years ago, because of the love that we have for this sport, we traveled to many countries like Italy, Emirates, Turkey for camps and practice. And in 2020, finally, our dream came true to have an ice rink in Iran. Since then, the ice hockey started its work, and our ice rink started its work as an academy to train the players and kids and to do advertising and attract as many players and kids as possible and introduce ice hockey. Actually, ice hockey was and is a very new sport in Iran, and nobody knows a lot about it. So we needed to advertise this sport in different ways to introduce ice hockey to people all around the country. Our ice hockey league have been going on for 3 years. At first, in the first year, we have just 4 teams in women and 4 teams in men. But right now, there are 7 men's and 6 women's team active in our league. This is a video that shows what happens in our ice rink. As you can see, we have a lot of kids that we first teach them ice skating, and after that we try to attract them to ice hockey. Number of hockey players. At the beginning, we just have very little active players who played inline hockey, and in all these years, we have reached 600 active players in inline, which 70% were men and only 30% were women. But when we started ice hockey in Iran, there were just 13 senior active players. The notable point is 40% of these 700 are men and the other 60% are women. It means the number of our active women players is more than men now, and we have players at all ages. For example, when the ice rink started its work, we had only 10 kids in our U10 team, and now there are about 100 kids in this team. This is a video of the ice hockey players gathering that we invited all players from Tehran to the ice rink to have a fun day together. Well, let's talk about our main topic, recruitment. What we are doing in our ice rink for recruitment and attract kids and players more and more. We started our work with only 10 players in senior women's team and 10 players in U18 men's team in our academy. And 3 years ago, we started to attract more hockey players. Actually, few people knew ice hockey in Iran and mostly came to our ice rink for ice skating. We use some recruitment models, which I briefly explain them to you to attract more kids and players. Advertising and introducing hockey via the screens around the rink. Our ice rink, located in the middle of the biggest mall in Iran, where many people visit this mall every day. So we use the screen around the rink to show hockey to the people who come to this mall. Participation of adults national team in international competition, training competitions, and achievement of our national teams and players have a great and positive effect on attracting new players and kids. Live television broadcast of hockey games. For example, we had a live television broadcast of women's game in Asian Games for the first time. Actually, this was the first time that this happened in history of Iran in the women's division. That's one of the most important reasons that many people became familiar with this sport now. Formation of families and coaches associations. We try to keep families involved in all matters to help us and to help their kids. Training coaches from interested participants. Active Instagram and posting announcement on Instagram. First Instagram post, our first Instagram post led to the first U12 hockey team that I will show you the video of this announcement. The post attracted around 20 young players, and we really tried hard for both iSpikes Instagram. Actually, iSpikes is our ice rink and Iran Hockey's page to post a lot of useful information and keep everyone updated with all the events and happening, and use Instagram posts to announce important events. This video is the result of our first announcement in Instagram.
Lately I wanna stay awake. I don't want the days to end. I know you'll fly away. Need to hold you for myself. I feel the time run through my hands. Try to grab it, but it fades. Say goodbye and all the possible ways. I don't want you to get lost. Will we ever meet again? All anesthetize the pain. Please remember this summer. My heart is closed by the will I learn to love again? You will walk with me. Please remember this summer. Please remember this.
Monthly competitions. We have a lot of competitions during all the years. For example, we have 3-on-3 games monthly for kids. That is the video of this game. Ice Hockey League. Our hockey league that I explained earlier for you, and this video is one of the important games of our league last year. That you can see there are a lot of people around the ring watching the game. inviting different clubs who had inline hockey. We have a lot of clubs in Iran that they are active in inline hockey. Actually, since the beginning of inline hockey, we have lots of clubs in Iran that they started inline hockey at first, and we started inviting each of them who were in Tehran to come and try ice hockey too, because coming here is easier for them, and then other clubs from different cities started to come, and now these clubs from another cities come here monthly or once a week. Hockey outside of Tehran. Because of the strong roller hockey culture throughout the country, we continue to recruit players and kids through roller hockey as well. More and more roller players have been gradually introduced to ice over time. Actually, we have some cities in Iran that they have a very good program, inline program, and they have very talented kids. So I will explain a little about these cities. For example, Varomin, they have a men's team in our ice league and U10 team that they participate in our events like 3-on-3 games. Ray is a city that has teams at all age levels on ice, both men's and women's. Tabriz has a men's team in our ice league this year and has players on the U12 ice team too. Hamadan, Qom, and Isfahan are the other cities that they are active in inline and ice hockey. This is a picture of one of the camp that David Minari came Iran, and they teach skills to our kids and players. Hold exciting hockey games like our league games and events in the most crowded time of the mall. As I told you, our ice rink is located in the middle of the biggest mall in Iran, so we use it as an advantage to show the hockey to the people who come to the mall. This is an event. Actually, it's a global girls game that we invited a lot of girls at all ages to come to the ice rink and have games and a fun day together. We reach out to local schools in and around Tehran. We invited a lot of schools to our ice rink. Actually, almost every week we have a school here that they bring a lot of kids here. We try to teach them ice skating to make a fun day for them and show them hockey, explain and introduce hockey for them, and try to attract them for this sport. And this is a video of one of the schools that come here. formation of national hockey team in all ages. Being a member of the national team creates a lot of motivation for everyone, especially for kids. For example, our U10 players have a monthly selection, which has made them continue their training because they know that they have a chance to be selected for this team every month. Our next steps: approaching and recruiting kids directly from private international schools. Kids from these socio-economic backgrounds are ideal for hockey as it is seen as a foreign luxury expensive sport. In Iran, ice hockey is too expensive for everybody because the equipment is too expensive and it's a luxury sport. So our first goal is using the private and international schools that we know they can afford to provide this equipment. Coaches have not yet presented at schools, mainly due to logistics, especially traffic, and the limited amount of open school during the summer season. For sure, we will have a lot of coaches who they will go to the schools to introduce hockey to kids and to all people. Continuing LTP education for local coaches. As LTP is for U10 and the kids are very important for us, so we will continue working on this program. Detailed planning for the correct and optimal use of the 40 pieces of equipment provided by the IHF in order to attract kids who do not have good financial conditions so that we can get the most efficiency from this equipment. Actually, we wanna try our best to provide a situation for all the kids that they have the chance to try ice hockey and to help us, and we help them to improve and develop ice hockey all together in Iran. This was our history and our what we were doing and we are doing for hockey in Iran, what we are doing for recruitment in Iran. Hope all of you enjoy it and have a good day.
Thank you for this presentation and welcome back to studio. I want to invite Azam to join us here, and the studio will let you talk. Can you hear us?
Yes, hi Marco, hi everybody.
Hello, great to have you here, and thank you for this presentation of the Iran ice hockey.
Thank you.
I have a first question, because you were on the beginning, we were talking about inline hockey, and then there was a question coming that how did it help you to have inline hockey before you actually had the ice rink? You were talking about transition of players as well, and maybe you can talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, actually, we have a lot of kids that all of them knew about ice hockey, and actually they played inline hockey with the love of ice hockey. All of them had a dream to play on the ice. So, for example, they watch a lot of YouTube videos related to ice hockey, and they watch NHL games. They follow all the players, and they try to do the drills that the good player do in ice hockey. And when we started our work on ice, we have a lot of kids who knew about hockey. ice hockey, who practice for ice hockey, and it made our work so easier.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then thinking about recruitment, how many recruitment events do you have during the season? Because you showed us a few, but how many as a federation and clubs? How many do they have? Only one or two, or they have it more?
Actually, we have more. For example, especially in summer, we have one school every week, sometimes more than one school. We have, for example, 3-on-3 games every month, and we have some fun events and some fun games every season that we invite the player who knows hockey with the friends who did not try hockey yet.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that's the crucial for success, especially in the smaller countries, to spread the message about ice hockey, that you have several different events and bring the friends in, as well as you guys are in the shopping mall, so that for sure helps you. And how hard was to agree with the schools, because you said you have every week different schools. Is it easy for you guys to join in, or was it complicated?
It's too complicated, actually. Yeah, we have someone here that she's responsible for these kind of things. She goes to the school. She explained about our ice rink, what we are doing, and she tried to attract them and take them here.
Yeah, and that's exactly. I think everywhere in the world there is complications, and we need to try to solve those and not to make an excuse out of it. And then another question for me is, you were talking about that ice hockey is really expensive sport in Iran, and trying to get people from the private schools as well. But then talking about trying to keep the cost efficient sport. You said IHF provided you with 40 equipments. I guess that will help as well. And do you have some kind of initiatives as well to try to make low cost so everybody can join?
Yeah, actually, we are trying to give this 40 pieces equipment to who that doesn't have a good economic situation. And actually, we have some second-hand equipment in our ice rink too, that everybody who can come here and use this equipment too. And also, our association help a lot in this matter, because if our association know there is a player or a kid who interested in ice hockey and who has talent for this sport, our association support a lot.
Yeah, I think that's great. And then talking about talent, you said that you have national teams in every age category, but we talked about that before. And just to make it clear for the listeners, it's not a selected team that runs the whole time. You were saying that you're changing almost every kid monthly,
Yeah,
so everybody has opportunity to join, if
yeah.
that's correct.
We have monthly selection.
Yeah.
Actually, every month we can change the players.
And then talking about, as we said, that hockey is maybe not that big sport in Iran. Thinking about the picture of ice hockey, what I've seen, maybe it wasn't shown in presentation, but I've seen it live. There is some kind of a newsletters going on monthly. If you can talk a little bit more about it, because for me that's an intriguing story that volunteers are involved so much in it.
Yeah, actually, it's made by our international relations department. It's part of our recruitment and marketing policy. It's most about an explanation of what is happening in one month, including all the events happening at the moment and upcoming events. And it's also many purpose, such as recruitment, announcement of the events, plan to all the and plans for all our members. And actually, it has a foreign aspect to give information and publish of Iran's and foreign news.
And as we talked, all of them are volunteers, if I understood right.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, and
Most of the things that happen in our ice hockey is made by volunteers.
Yeah, and what you shown as well in presentation, the Instagram account and all of those made by volunteers, it's a really high quality, and it shows that even in small countries, I think they can do a good work if there is a will. And we have one more question coming back to equipment. Would it be possible to borrow ice hockey kit for people coming to training and then be able to try it? And then later on maybe give it back, or perhaps some kind of idea what you have there with it.
We already did this stuff. Actually, as I told you, we have some second-hand equipment, and sometimes we borrow each other our equipment too.
So if for example, I never heard about hockey, and then I'm walking in a shopping mall and I want my kid to join the sport, you will be able to provide them some kind of skates that they can try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think again that's the crucial key, that anybody who wants to join, they are more than welcome, and it shows that you're open for everybody and shows the big community. And for me, the last question what came out is that how are you using those men's games or adult games, men and female adult games, what you showed on the video? Do you try to involve kids as well there, or is it just about the adult players?
What you watched was one of our men's league game, but our kids and our younger player has the competition too. For example, 3-on-3 that I show you another video. For example, kids, they didn't have league yet in Iran, but they have a lot of competition.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I don't see any additional questions. Thank you, Azam, for taking your time and preparing this and sharing it with us, what you and people in Iran are doing to help the sport in maybe not that developed hockey country yet. Thank you.
Thank you for invitation, and thank you for your time.
And now we will go back to our next slide, which will be changed in a second. There we go. So next we will be talking about the recruitment and retention programs that IHF has so far. So we had a talk with Blanca, who is a women's program manager, and then we discussed there about the World Girls Ice Hockey Weekend, which was a few weeks ago, and then we talked about the coming up Global Girls Game. The first initiative is about recruiting female hockey players, and then the second one is actually promotion and celebration, as well as retention of the hockey players. So we will now see the video. Dear listeners, thank you for staying with us. And after listening to the presentation from the M&A, now we will move forward to this seminar's Skills for All webinar presentations concerning the IHF initiatives, considering the global presence as well as the recruitment. Here with us, we have the colleague from the IHF in charge of the women's programming, Blanca. Blanca is working for IHF for several years and is in charge of many different events, what we do with development, and especially female development. So I would now thank you, Blanca, for coming, and I would give floor to you.
Well, thank you very much for having me, and I'm very happy to present these two initiatives that we have in our women's program. That are both annual events, and we always very much look forward to having them. So these two initiatives are World Girls Ice Hockey Weekend and Global Girls Game, and I will quickly run through both of them. We actually just had the last edition of World Girls Ice Hockey Weekend a couple of weeks ago, but first I want to start with a little bit of history. So World Girls Ice Hockey Weekend actually started quite a while back in 2011, And the idea was to give girls an opportunity to get to know the sport that we all love. And the goal for them is really to just go on the ice, put some skates on, and really get to know the basics of the sport, and do it in a fun and enjoyable way. To learn about teamwork and being part of a team in the meantime, and also about the different opportunities that ice hockey may have in their own communities. And of course, first and foremost, just to meet new friends and hopefully fall in love with ice hockey like we all did a little while back. So the question that comes to me very often is who can organize a World Girls Ice Hockey Weekend event? So our member national associations can do it themselves, and that is the case in many of our smaller federations and MNAs. But they may also give their clubs or regional organizations the opportunity to host these events. Countries are encouraged to host as many events as possible, because the more events, the more girls will get to meet ice hockey. So what do event organizers have to do? So first and foremost, they have to advertise it in their own communities, just to make sure that the information reaches as many people and as many girls as possible. Then they have to provide some basics like pucks and sticks, and maybe a few pairs of skates for the participants, but the participants are responsible for all their protective equipment and protective gear. And of course, a big task from the side of the organizer is to provide some instructors or coaches, so that really girls get to know the sport in a very proper way. At the same time, of course, it's just as important that they are in a safe environment. So hosts also have to provide everything when it comes to first aid on site. And then the hosts are required to send some information to the IIHF about the event. This can be done directly to us or through their MNA. And this is obviously we're asking for this because we want to learn about all the events, so that we can also give it a very good coverage from the side of the IIHF.
Yeah, and for me, what is amazing about here is that it's not just one event. So if federations want to do several different events, they are encouraged to do this. So like you said, that they can promote female hockey all around, and not just, this is the chosen rink or this is the chosen club. So that's awesome that everybody can be involved, as many people as possible.
Yes, and our goal with these events is really the promotion of the sport. So of course we are sometimes very strict, as we have to be with our rules, but here there are virtually very few rules. Here the key is to have as many events and just to spread the love of the sport. So this is also the reason that while we do have a dedicated weekend, which is in October of each year, we understand that in some countries it may not be possible to host it over that particular weekend, and that is absolutely not a problem. I really, even in the presentation, I try to stress it is not a problem. So if you can do it the weekend before or 2 weekends after, that is absolutely fine. Just please keep us in the loop with the information, because the more events, the better.
I can confirm that. I can confirm that coming from Croatian Federation, we had issues with ice at particular weekend, and we ran it the weekend later, and Blanca was happy that we did it.
Absolutely. And even if you want to do it November, it's fine. We also have some countries that may have ice time in like a different time period, considering the hemispheres. So if it's not in season, then of course it's absolutely fine if you do it during your season, like in New Zealand, Argentina. We understand that they're geographically someplace else. So far in the 2023 editions, we've had over 200 events, and over 40 countries participated. So that's that I think is a very impressive number, and we're very happy. But nonetheless, the goal is to continuously grow this event. We do not have dates confirmed yet for the next edition, but it will be in October 2024. So, and then this is our little logo, and yeah, we like to see it translated into many languages and on posters coming back from around the world.
And you can see the World Girls Ice Hockey Weekend on IHF webpage, as well as the Instagrams and Facebook, with so many smiling faces and so many people joining hockey for the first time and really loving the experience, and coming from there, transferring to the future event. Once when they join the hockey, there is another initiative as well from IHF that we will talk now. It's a global girls game, which is related to actually promoting the sport as well and keeping. We talk about recruitment and retention this weekend, this webinar, and this is exactly with the IHF what they are trying to do, or we are trying to do, that have them recruited, and now we are retaining them with another initiative that we will talk now.
I like the way you introduced that part. Thank you, Marco. And yeah, just a little bit. It's something that's relevant to both of our events. Our communications department is really dedicated to really giving it great coverage to both of these events, and are super active, especially over those dedicated weekends. And we're very happy to see that the same is happening in all the countries, and social media, I think, is really giving these events a very good boost. But like you said, we do have another women's hockey initiative, and that's Global Girls Game, which is a little bit younger event than World Girls Ice Hockey Weekend. The first year it took place was the 2015-2016 season. So this is a weekend-long game. Although this weekend is more like 72 hours, so it's given the time differences in our globe, and it's played between Team Blue and Team White, and the results from each country are added up into our Global Girls Game cumulative big results. So the result is always in the hundreds. So here again, like I said, we don't really have strict rules for this event. Again, the goal is to have participation from as many countries as possible. So games may be played between youth teams, senior teams, national teams. It can be a league game. It can be, one year we've had USA Canada, one of their rivalry series games was the entry for one of the countries to the Global Girls Game. So it really is all levels. Also in countries where maybe we're in the early stages of the development of women's ice hockey, if you have maybe 20 players and they're on each team, or 15, and you can just play with mixed age lines, that's also fine. There's again no strict rules. The only one of the few rules is that you have to assign one of the teams Team Blue and the other one Team White. Countries again, they hope.
Sorry to interrupt, but we talked already before, but the jerseys don't need to be blue and white. So if you don't have blue jerseys, you don't need to go and buy 20 blue jerseys.
Yes,
they can be other color as well. They just need to be assigned as for blue and as for white.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah,
yes,
awesome.
Please please don't cause yourself extra expenses for this event. Like I said, the countries may host more than one game over this weekend or over this day, but one of them has to be assigned as the official entry game for the Global Girls game. And like with the previous World Girls Ice Hockey Weekend event, here we're even in a little bit of more of a time scrunch. So hosts are requested to send in their results really as soon as the game ends, hopefully with a little information of who played and maybe outstanding scoring or anything else that they might want to mention, maybe some photos and some videos. And this has to be sent to the IIHF office really right after, so that we are able to be updated with the global result. And this can come in the middle of the night. Again, my colleagues are prepared that some of those results will come in at 3 a.m. Here, I'm not going to go through a lot of numbers. I just kind of wanted to show and make a little comment about Team Blue always winning this game. So I'm kind of looking forward to the year when Team White is victorious. But more importantly, off of this slide, I just want to mention that as you can see, there's always between 37 and 40 games organized, and again we want to go even higher with these numbers and hopefully get as many M&As involved and as possible. The next edition, so this season's edition, will take place on the February 16th through the 18th weekend obviously in 2024. And countries are encouraged to find the best possible venue, the best possible day, the best possible dates, and then here in the office we will make sure that they can play it in their preferred slot. So yeah, that's my little summary. But Marco, I always know that you have some questions. So
I always do. I see that 2018-19 was a really tight game. And then for me, it's really great to see that there was a certain similar number of teams, and now there is more and more countries. So actually, 42 games, meaning that there is 42 countries joining the event, if I'm correct.
That is correct. Yes, it's one event per country. That's the official entry. So yeah, that meant 42 country. It was actually 41 games played, because that's when the unfortunate natural disaster didn't allow Turkey to organize their game, but we kept them in the count just because they were ready to host the game. But that is the result from 41 games.
Yeah. And now we are back in the studio. Next slide, what I want to show to our listeners is about the future event as well, which is coming really soon. It's during the World Championship Under 20 in Sweden. There will be International Hockey Convention that will be happening 3rd to 5th of January, and it will be in English language. There will be talks about the player development, psychology, philosophy, and hockey-specific domenas. And during that symposium, during that convention, there will be two different streams. There will be stream for team coaches as well as a stream for goalie coaches. So you can either click on this QR code and take a look in the different speakers from around the world and the whole program, or you can type down this email address. So please take a look and register as soon as possible. And another initiative, another program for coaching is a sports coaching and management bachelor program in Finland, in Haaga-Helia, in Viermäki. And duration of this program is 3.5 years. There is 25 places in it, and it's specialized in ice hockey coaching and it's a full ICC. The program got a full ICC endorsement, which is a second university in the world who has it. And there is a certain tuition fee for non-European Union citizens, but because of the endorsement, there is a collaboration with Olympic Solidarity that provides enrolled students the opportunity to apply for it and to get a scholarship for it. So please check that out as well if you are looking for a university to develop. And now talking about our next Skills for All webinar, which will be on the 20th of December, and we will talk about using the social media to promote the sport in a country. And there will be a colleague from the IHF Digital Content Manager Stories series who will be talking about developing social media content for the M&As, as well as some tips, giving tips and tricks how to effectively use the social media to popularize the ice hockey inside the M&A and to recruit new members. So for the next series, there will be again on 20th of December the 1 o'clock CET time and 5 o'clock CET time, so 13 CET and 17 CET, that you can join either via Zoom or via YouTube link. And the biggest difference between joining via Zoom is that afterwards we are joining all together and having discussion and talking with the people in the room and asking questions and collaborating. And if you join via YouTube link, you will be just able to see the presentations, and then the YouTube link will stop. So coming to the end of the YouTube link is that you can again scan this QR code, and it will show you the IHF webpage with the Skills for All webinar. And if you have any additional questions or any feedback, please, you can send it to my email that you can see on the presentation. If you are not receiving direct email from us about the webinar, you can send us an email as well, and we'll be more than happy to send you direct emails for the future webinars. So for all the YouTube people watching, I want to say thank you, and thank you for joining. If you still want to have discussion with us, you can join us via Zoom. And for all people who are watching through the Zoom link, now you'll be able to turn on your camera and turn on your speakers.